All right, I see that we are live. Good morning, everyone. Um, I'm Jesse Meckling, the Director of Education at the Center for Coastal Studies, and this is Monday mornings, the cool marine animals that I have seen, Facebook Live at 11 o'clock. I hope everyone had a nice holiday weekend, and despite restrictions, were able to celebrate as they maybe normally do, or maybe a little abbreviated. But I hope everyone had a nice weekend. So when I first started this series last week, I thought I would go in chronological order of cool marine animals I've seen, and then realized that that would be really whale heavy, no pun intended, because when I was younger, I saw lots of different species of whales. So I'm going to mix it up and talk about animals that I've seen later in life. And today's species that we are going to be talking about is the first species of sea turtle I have seen, and the species of sea turtle I have seen the most, and that is the green sea turtle. So we're going to get started. Let me pull up the presentation so you all can see it in the box. That is, everyone can see that there. So we're going to talk today. I'm going to discuss the green sea turtle. Green sea turtles are one of 7 species of sea turtles in the world. Like 5 of the other species, they live throughout the world's oceans in both warm and cold water. Believe it or not, green sea turtles actually come to the waters in Massachusetts in the summertime. Their name, green sea turtle, actually comes from the color of the fat under their shell or their carapace, not from the color of the shell. They evolved from sea turtle ancestors over 120 million years ago. And what's amazing about sea turtles is that they and crocodiles are the only 4-legged animals above 25 kilos or 55 pounds to have survived the last great mass extinction. They are unique because they are herbivores as adults, and they are an endangered species just like all the other sea turtles in the world. So sea turtles are green sea turtles are found throughout the world's oceans, as I mentioned, through warm and cool water. So they're found all the way up. You can see all the way up into Canadian waters and into European waters. They're found in over 140 countries, and they nest in every continent except for Antarctica and Europe. They nest in over 80 countries around the world. So they're spread throughout the world's oceans. Oops, wrong way. As hatchlings, green turtles hatch, they're only about 2 inches long, but they can grow up to 5 feet and 700 pounds. I was doing some research and saw one website that said they grow up to 400 pounds and 4 feet. I can personally attest, this is an image of a green sea turtle I took here in the Galapagos, that this turtle was pushing 5 to 6 feet. It was a massive turtle, and I actually have a video of someone swimming next to it. It was almost as long as that person, who is about as tall as me, which is just over 6 feet. This was a massive, massive individual turtle, so they can grow quite large. I've personally seen green sea turtles grow quite large. There's an estimated 85 to 95,000 green sea turtles worldwide, and these numbers are based on nesting females at some of their nesting beaches. When green sea turtles are small, they're actually carnivores, and they prey on worms, crustaceans, aquatic insects, and algae. But as they grow bigger, so more than 10 inches, they mostly eat seagrasses and algae. Green sea turtles are rarely observed in the open ocean. They live mostly in coastal areas, sheltered bays, and seagrass beds. And as I mentioned, they're the only sea turtles in the world that, as adults, are herbivores. They're considered keystone species, helping to maintain seagrass ecosystems. They only eat the top blades and leave the roots, allowing seagrasses to grow healthier and faster. They're like aquatic lawnmowers. Seagrass ecosystems are one of the most important coastal ecosystems in the world. They provide oxygen through photosynthesis. They absorb excess nutrient runoff from land and are really important nursery habitat for many marine species, among some of their other functions. And green sea turtles are very important helping maintain these seagrass ecosystems. Green sea turtles can live for nearly 80 to 100 years, but they don't reach sexual maturity until over 25 years, somewhere between 25, and 35 or 50 years of age is when they actually reach sexual maturity. Males, green sea turtles will breed every year, while females will only breed every 3 to 4 years. A female will return to the same beach where she was born, just like all sea turtle species, which is quite amazing. And there she will lay between 75 to 200 sea turtle eggs. It takes about 2 months before the eggs will hatch. And when they hatch, many of the sea turtles will race towards the ocean. Many of them will become food themselves for animals that live on shore. In fact, sea turtle hatchlings are an important source of beach ecosystem food for things like birds and raccoons and foxes, and some places in Central America, even jaguars. It's estimated that only 1 in 1,000 sea turtles will survive until adulthood. As adults, one of their main predators is large sharks and potentially orcas. Mostly tiger sharks are known to eat sea turtles, but as adults, they have very few predators in the open ocean. Green sea turtles are unique in that they're one of the only sea turtle species that's known to come ashore not just for nesting, but they actually come and bask in the sun on shore. This is particularly common among green sea turtles in the Eastern Pacific. And green sea turtles are listed as endangered by the IUCN. That's the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Green sea turtle eggs and sea turtles themselves are still consumed illegally by some coastal communities around the world. For many centuries, the fat of the green sea turtle was made into a soup called callipee, and this still happens in some coastal areas. They're also subject to being caught unintentionally, or what is known as bycatch, in fishing industry around the world. Green sea turtles also suffer from a disease called, I might mess up the pronunciation, fibropapilloma, which is basically a growth. This disease, which was first found in green sea turtles, is now found in all 7 species of sea turtles. It results in large growths on the outside or internally. And the growth itself is benign, but can debilitate the animals, interfering with their swimming or seeing or breathing, depending where it grows. It could also lead to anemia and makes them more susceptible to catching other types of diseases. Green sea turtles are also susceptible to habitat destruction, being as they feed mostly in seagrass beds. Seagrass beds grow along coastal areas, and coastal change, construction along coastal areas, increased runoff from coastal areas can destroy the habitat. Climate change may also affect these turtles by rising sea levels, which could inundate their nesting beaches. And as like all sea turtles, the females return to the beaches where they were born. Those beaches become underwater. They would have no place to return to. And rising temperature could change what type of sea turtles are actually being born, because sea turtle hatchlings, the eggs, whether it's a male or female, is dependent on the temperature of the sand. So increased temperatures could lead to more females of sea turtles, which might be a bad thing, because there would be more sea turtles skewed in one gender. Sea turtles around the world, and particularly baby sea turtles, are very susceptible to eating plastic. Particularly with green sea turtles, it's the babies that are very susceptible, because they will basically have a very unselective diet and will eat anything they can get their mouths on, and many times those are small bits of plastic. Despite being listed as endangered, however, green sea turtles their population is increasing in places like Hawaii and Florida in the eastern part of the Pacific, near Mexico. And to that end, I just want to share one of my coolest experiences with green sea turtles. As I said, this was the first sea turtle I've seen. I've seen them, I don't know, more than a dozen times in places diving. But this last image I'm showing is of my son and I. Last year, we were snorkeling on an island called Sipadam, which is off of Borneo in Malaysia. And on the last snorkel of the day, the last 50-minute snorkel of the day, we counted, or I should say I counted, 52 individual green sea turtles in one 50-minute period. I actually counted over 70, but only 52 I could determine were actually different sea turtles. So it could have been as many as 70, but I counted 52. It's one of the most memorable experiences and one of the amazing ocean experiences that I have seen. So we are just about out of time, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you keep safe and healthy, and I will be back tomorrow with another cool marine animal that I have seen. So that's all for sea turtles, green sea turtles. Oops, and can close this out. So that's all for me today. Again, Jesse Meckling, Center for Coastal Studies. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 with a new cool marine animal I have seen. Have a good day and stay safe, everyone.